Melissa, you were laughing at something right before we went live, and I was like, "What is it? Tell me." And you were like, "No, I must save it. Save it for the podcast."
When I'm waiting for you to do things, I just scroll up and down through Pinterest because it's just a series of images so I can leave at any time. And I've got a screenshot of some teen's Spotify playlist they made. And the Spotify playlist is titled The Oldies But Goodies, captioned, I was born in the wrong decade. Okay. First track on the playlist, Mambo number 5.
Yes.
Followed by All Star. So, the wrong decade they were born in is this century. This is a child saying, I wish I was in the 90s. I wish I could have seen The Mask in theaters.
So doesn't that just make you feel old, though? Of like, there's now this like nostalgia. Like think about this. In the early 2000s, the 80s were only 20 years away, but it felt like it was like, oh, that was like my parents' age, like, even though it wasn't, but like it was still like that, like that's old timey stuff, right? And then we can look back now and be like, Y2K was 20 years ago. The 90s were 30 years ago.
It's distressing, but it's weirdly comforting to think that there are kids nowadays who yearn to like be a kid at the age I was a kid. Like they recognize some value in the things that I lived through.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Speaking of these Gen Z kids, Melissa, I don't know what's going on with them right now.
I believe I do.
Rumors, scuttlebutt of this fashion war that they are waging against us millennials. Gen Z is wanting to bring middle parts like into the forefront, just like air.
That is where they
down the middle, right? Like, let's bring back the 90s Disney channel with those like middle parts, and no more skinny jeans. Skinny jeans are out. We can't wear them. We're not cool.
Okay. So are they saying we, the youth, we are not going to wear these skinny jeans? Or are they like, nobody should do this anymore? We're sending this up the chain.
Yeah, nobody should do this. It looks bad.
I can't wear flared jeans. I've got these giant hips and my legs are very short. So like, it's just like a weird shape for my body to go out and then in a little bit of my knees and then flare out immediately again with the jeans. I have to have skinny jeans.
See, I remember back in the day having a pair of Jenko jeans. Right, those were the thing.
Wow.
Like back in the day when baggy jeans were still in. I think the ones I had like some. I don't know if I'd call it embroidered, but it had this like dragon pattern on the back on like one leg. Yeah, terrible. Terrible mistake. I would never buy them again.
You should have had two dragons.
Right,
you got to get enough dragon for your money. You should have demanded. No, he needs a friend. Put one on the other leg.
And just I look back at the fashion that was in when I was in like middle school, even in high school, some, and it just what were we thinking, right? Like that. And it wasn't really until high school and then into college when like more skinny jeans or more like straight fit or not straight fit. What's the not
boyfriend
skinny but
cut.
not the like
that's what they call it on a lady. I suppose
a slim fit. Slim fit for a guy.
Yeah. You may also, I don't know if you call it boyfriend cut jeans if you may be a boy yourself buying them.
I mean, you can call them whatever you want, but like it wasn't until then that we looked back and was like, oh, what were we thinking in middle school, right? That didn't look good. And I'm imagining that's what's going to happen to these kids of like, why did we think a middle part was cool? Like we've already been through that in the 90s, like I mentioned. Like this is stereotypical Disney Channel, like weird kid who, is the next door nosy neighbor. Like,
oh, yes.
And then it went away. But we know those things come back. But why this? Why not Mambo number 5? Like you mentioned, right?
This runs parallel to Mambo number 5. So I spend a lot of time on Pinterest.
Mambo number 5 is not all that great, anyways.
Which I feel like is a media platform that all sorts of people can gravitate towards. I see a lot of things that are from the youth somehow on the general main feed. And their style that I've been seeing a lot of, there's many styles that they have, is this a throwback to the 90s look, which was a throwback to the 70s look, which is where I think they're getting the parts down the middle. And I've been seeing a lot of flare jeans, intense flare jeans. I've been seeing that much more than like the baggy jeans, but those are also out there. I think they know it looks kind of tacky. Like, I think there is some irony to it. Like
there probably is, yeah.
Yeah, like it's quaint, and I think that's why they like it. They're like, let's dress like we are from the 90s, but we're also kind of making fun of the 90s. Like it's not entirely sincere.
But like that's the thing though of like at that age, like I remember being like, man, I wonder what people are gonna think of me if I get only one dragon on the leg of my jeans and not 2, right? Like there is that like self-consciousness of like, what do other people think about me and stuff like that. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm not Gen Z, so I guess I don't really understand the sentiment, right? But like, I don't think sticking it to us millennials is necessarily the fashion choice that will work out in the long run.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know.
I don't want to disparage the youth. I feel responsible for their problems. I owe them much more than they will ever owe me.
Oh, sure. They can absolutely do what they can absolutely do what they want. It's just like middle parts, man. You got like, take it from us who did similar things where it was like, man, some things you are going to regret.
They can work sometimes. And I'm sure these are not like, this is the daily uniform. I feel like the youth, we live in an age of like mood boards. Like you've got a mood board for every different little thing that you're into. You've got a playlist for every different little thing that you're into. It's more costumey, I think, modern aesthetics, because you can have like a section of your closet for every aesthetic. And this 90s throwback look is a look they're going to be wearing out, but it's not like that's the norm. They probably have a closet full of 5 other aesthetics that they cycle through depending on how they feel that week.
True indeed. Speaking of playlists, Sam is here in the chat. What's up, Sam? How are you doing this Friday night? Sam mentions on Spotify she saw a playlist called Monster Fucker. So
wow.
Take that as you will.
It's just the monster mash 12 times.
Right, yeah. Let's do the mash. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 134 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined by Melissa Wilkinson.
Yes.
Melissa, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm living through a week. I've been living in my own 90s retrograde little hole. We're about to hire somebody new in the coming weeks. Ooh. And I'm in charge of training. And I haven't trained anybody new in like a year and a half. So I got to get back into the groove of it. And so I've been writing all these training documents. And my work music is vaporwave. So I'm just in my little vaporwave cube, just writing down, this is how you check a manuscript for somebody who I haven't met yet. I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, that's really interesting. We hired someone at the start of the pandemic, like just right before they did like, okay, no more hiring, no more salary stuff. Like it's all frozen. Like just stop because we don't know what's gonna happen next. And yeah, it's one of those things that like I've now gotten used to them as my coworker, but no one has met him in person. Like he only exists on Zoom. Right.
Yeah.
So that's it's interesting times we are living in for sure.
Yeah, the other departments have hired a decent amount of people. So I'm going to go back to the office at some point, and there's going to be there's going to be like 10 people I don't know that I've never seen before in my life.
Yeah. Who knows? Sam, you mentioned you don't use Spotify. What streaming music service do you use? You use Apple or Amazon or YouTube? Because I'm so just ingrained on Spotify. Like it used to be iTunes back in the day, and then Spotify was the next big one, and I didn't understand it at first. To be honest, I was just like, I don't really get the point of this when we have iTunes. Like that's already the big thing. And then just once I was like, okay, I'll sign up for a Spotify thing. Immediately, I was like, oh, this makes sense. Like this is much better than iTunes. And then of course iTunes is no longer. It's now Apple Music, which is the one that Sam uses. It has free upload, so I just throw all my Bandcamp downloads on that. Yeah, I do enjoy Bandcamp as well. I don't use it, but every so often I'll go on there and buy something from a artist that I like if I cannot figure out how to buy it directly from them. Bandcamp is the next best thing. So good stuff. Music is good. I've been listening to a lot of music lately.
Hot news. Right off the presses.
You heard it here first, folks. Music. Good. No, I've been listening to a bunch of music lately. And in fact, I picked out 10 new songs for us as our like stream starting soon / be right back playlist. So there will be a bit more variety of the ones that I made. The ones that I made are still in there, but I was just like, you know what? These ones are old. We've had these for a while. We need more variety. So I have some hip hop, some lo-fi, some vaporwave stuff, some electronic stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, all sorts of things. It's good. It's fun. It's from Stream Beats. If you guys know Alpha Gaming on YouTube and stuff like that, I don't want to say he made all of those. I know he made some of those and then hired other people to make some of them for this thing. But he owns them all. So they're good. They're fun, and they are copyright free, so you can use them on Twitch streams and YouTube videos and stuff like that. I'm excited.
Yeah.
This week was really interesting for me because last week I mentioned I had that like freelance videographer gig, and so all of my free time was kind of taken up by that thing of just like filming and making sure it's all edited and stuff like that, and then going back and forth of like, how do you guys like this? What do you think of this thing? Do you guys want me to fix that or change that? And this week I was just prepared to do nothing. Of just like, I did that job. It feels good. I'm just going to sit back, right? And then I don't know what compelled me, but I just tried to see if After Effects was working on my computer.
Now, what exactly does After Effects do?
After Effects is one of the Adobe programs that is meant for like special effects and 3D animation and stuff like that.
So you can put an explosion back there.
I totally could, yeah. But I've used them for all our animated intros and stuff like that. So when you guys watch the YouTube versions of these things, and you see the like fancy schmancy 3D logos and color changes and animation, like that's what I'm doing there. Or our like social media pop-ups, which I just did right there for a second time. Those things I make in After Effects.
Okay.
And for since like late November, it just stopped working. Well, all right. So it was what? It was like late November when I had the editing problem. Do you remember that? When I was like, hey,
no.
Adobe Premiere isn't working and I can't really edit the podcasts because of that. You guys, like, I don't remember exactly when that was.
I know that
we
it
had
happened,
to like skip a week.
Yeah.
We had to skip a week. And so I got on to support with Adobe, and they were just like, I don't know, maybe talk to Microsoft. So I talked to Microsoft, and they were just like, I don't know, maybe talk to Adobe. So I went back to Adobe, and they ended up like narrowing it down to my graphics card. Like something was up with my graphics card, because when we uninstalled it and then tried to open the program, then it worked fine. It wouldn't be great for my computer to run that without a graphics card, but it's possible. And so it was like, yeah, it seems to be isolated to your graphics card, so you're going to need to talk to the manufacturer about that. But every time, I guess that first time we uninstalled the graphics card and it did a clean install, that fixed my issue for Premiere, which was the first thing that went down. But even though it fixed it for that, Adobe Media Encoder, which is the thing I use to render all of our videos and stuff like that, that wasn't working. So I reinstalled my graphics card again, fixed it for Adobe Media Encoder, but then After Effects didn't work. Like the program loaded up, and all of the things that I could see, like all of the assets and the timeline, all of that stuff worked. But the like preview area where you could actually see what your animation is that you're working on, basically your canvas, right? Didn't show up. And every time I opened up the program, I got an error message from the graphics card being like, hey, something went wrong.
No.
I was like, I know.
Something.
Yeah, and I tried to get in contact with support. Took forever. Like Adobe and Microsoft have like that instant chat, right, where you can just chat with someone and they'll figure it out. These guys, you had to like fill out some form, and then maybe in a week they'll get back at the soonest, right? And it was just like, this is a nightmare. And I dropped it and was just like, well, maybe it'll fix itself. And it didn't. And so months later, I was like, I really need to fix this. And I went through support with the manufacturer. They had me do this thing and that thing and this thing and that thing, and none of it worked. I was like, nope, the problem is still persisting. Like it is something with this graphics card, to the point where I was like, I want a refund. Like I haven't even had this for a year and this thing sucks. And they were like, okay, well, you're gonna have to like check the warranty information and, you know, go fill out this form and talk to Tom and this guy over here, you know. And I was just like, oh god, this is gonna be a nightmare. So I dropped it and was just like, fuck that. And yeah, this week I was just like, I'm just gonna open After Effects and see what it is. And it worked, and I was like, I can make things. I can fix things. Like
I have the power again.
Make
the
new
lightning
things,
rod
right?
is back in my hand.
Yes, exactly. So something must have updated or gotten patched or something that fixed it. I don't know. But yeah, I now have like a stream starting soon page for the Reactor Core, and also one for crossplay. I have an animated background for crossplay ready to go for when we do a video podcast on that stuff. It's just like the one you see here on the captain's log, except it's purple and it says the Whatnauts crossplay. All sorts of stuff like that. Next thing I need to do is make the social media pop-ups for crossplay and Reactor Core, but now I have social media for everyone here in the Whatnauts for the review show and the captain's log if they ever come on, and all I have to do is be like, I want that one and that one, and I hit the button. Boom, it goes. And Melissa, I'm so happy, as if you cannot tell just from me rambling on for so long.
Every time you do this, my brain just zaps out, and I think about that meme of the girl just spinning a leek around, you know, the anime gif of the girl spinning a leek around, and like that's my thought bubble. When you just tell me tech things for a long time.
But yeah, it's in the long run, it's good news for us here at the Whatnauts, because then we can fix and change things if we need to, or make them look nice.
You work on so many things, and for me, it's like, I got to amp up my podcast game. What if I got a new pillow to put on my bed that you can see in the background?
There you go.
What if I changed a lamp?
Speaking of which, you guys can get Whatnauts pillows at our store.
Wow.
Which is the whatnauts.com/store. So you guys can go check that stuff out. Don't forget, we have 2 new t-shirt designs up there. I guess not only t-shirts, because you can get them on
designs.
Pillows and sweatshirts and tank tops and all sorts of stuff. So go check that stuff out.
I gotta buy one of those things eventually and find out if they're soft. The items that are supposed to be soft. If I got a coffee mug and it was soft, something went terribly wrong.
Why is this mug bendable?
This is just raw clay. This hasn't been fired.
It's a take and bake mug.
It's soft from Papa Murphy's, straight to your own oven.
Exactly. That'd be so bad. He's so bad. Unfortunately, my girlfriend just tried to mail me a mug. She bought us matching, or I guess not matching exactly, but like a set. They go together. She bought us mugs and she mailed it to me. And unfortunately, it didn't survive. It did, but the handle broke off. So it's still a cup. Like it can still function as a cup. There's just no like handle. Yeah, your hand can still grip it like a Lego. Still works. Still fits in hand. Yeah, right? Bam. Wow. Good stuff. Melissa, here is something I've been thinking about. Yes. For the past month, to be honest, we are now officially, we've been in a year of quarantine. Mm-hmm. That's wild. And it is crazy to think about and honestly depressing. But right. I think I've spent every day for the past year thinking back on my childhood. And it's like, I should have been a doctor. What if instead of watching any cartoons, going to writing camp, anything like that, when I was like 9 years old,
I like looked out on the world and I'm like, medicine is the most helpful thing I could ever do. And I devoted my life to medicine and I never did anything else.
I think we're providing a good service here, right? Just quality entertainment that people can put on in the background. They can do the dishes. They can play video games. They can, I don't know, they can go jack off or something, and we can just be playing in the background. Quality entertainment.
I would love to be the fuel to get somebody to do their dishes.
Well, yeah, it's just something like because I listen to a lot of podcasts and I've had to like reshuffle the way I listen to podcasts since I don't have a commute now, and ones that I used to watch, I now only listen to and stuff like that. But I'm still consuming a bunch, and I know there's a lot of people out there who need things like that to just like keep them sane and like make them feel like they are a part of something or some like social interaction. And yeah, like I know I've absolutely needed stuff like that. Like I've just the fact that we are doing a podcast in the midst of this has helped me a ton, but then just going to listen to like, oh, it is my like every Wednesday morning is the Giant Bomb podcast, and I know that like I can wake up and it will be right there and I can just hit play first thing and it's just like, this is good. This is good. I like this.
When I listen to my podcasts, some of them I get into a niche with them. Like I have podcasts for certain activities. Like over and over again. I'm like, I have to start Friday morning with this podcast. This is me getting ready and on Friday mornings listening to the Tomorrowland Transit Authority. But sometimes I'm like, I gotta take this podcast out. Like the podcast needs to come with me out into the world. Like there have been nights where I'm bored. I'm like, I guess I'll go driving and I'll just bring the boys need to go outside. I'll bring podcast the ride with me because they need to like see like they're a pet. Like they're this intangible pet where I'm like, he needs fresh air. I gotta take him out. Like I treat my podcasts this very amorphous sense. It's like, okay, Griffin, we're gonna drive up to see my parents today. I hope you're excited for a car ride.
I can't say I talk to them like a pet.
Well, I do
like we're going on a road trip today. Kind of funny.
I don't do it out loud most of the time.
But I definitely like. I mean, like I used to listen to them during my commute, during work, all of that stuff. I would go grocery shopping and I would have podcasts on. I mainly do podcasts and I don't do music all that much anymore, despite what I just said like 20 minutes ago. But yeah, like the podcast is just my like constant.
Right. I've been reading all these like self-care tips on Pinterest, and a lot of them say like to put your phone away from you at night and like don't look at your phone as soon as you get up in the morning. They're like, but the phone is where the podcasts are.
That is the
first
have to
thing
have
that
those
I do.
My phone is my alarm.
Well, I have a physical alarm clock. It's the same one I bought in college because I was terrified I'd oversleep for class, and the thing, it's barely hanging on, but it is. So I still have it. But yeah, first thing I wake up in the morning, I look for new podcasts. That's like the last thing I do before I get into bed. Like they're just always there. It's a miracle my roommate puts up with me.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Is like first thing is like turn off my alarm on my phone, check the social media stuff. I don't really have a particular one that I check first. It's just like I feel like checking I mean, I guess all I really have is like Discord and Twitter. So it's like that. And then, yeah, like checking the podcast app to be like, okay, what came out today? Is something late that should be up there? And yeah, like sometimes I'll be like, okay, I need to set these ones to download. And then while that's happening, I'll go check Twitter or something. Yeah, that's like my morning routine. And I do that and then roll out of bed and then sign in into work and begrudgingly be like, oh, you guys sent me work to do.
Oh no, I have things to do.
Right? Yeah. Sam wants to know if you do this with YouTube videos to Melissa. She asks, have you taken the Final Fantasy VII playthrough out to the park?
No, but I should. Sam, I have put some of your VODs on before as background while I am doing chores. Like if I need to like sit on my laptop and like do research and purchase something. Sam's a good buddy for me to go internet shopping with virtually and also in person. I will do this on a call with her too.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, it's quarantine has definitely changed things. But here's what I want to know. Here's what I've been thinking about for the past month. Something I saw a lot of people do at the start of the year, but I'm not usually like a New Year's resolution person. But since we've been officially in a year in quarantine, I like wanted to look back and just be like, what did we accomplish? Like what did Melissa accomplish? Like did you have something that you felt like you achieved or got done, or did you teach yourself something, or like this can be anything. Like I organized my sock drawer.
I did do that.
Like that. There you go.
A very intense sock detox. I took all the stragglers that were loners.
Socks.
The D-socks, yes. I took all the loners and I put them in a separate bag together in case I ever do find their missing friend. Separate all my socks into various lengths. I put them in baskets. I've been deep into like home improvement organization stuff. Like you talking about getting After Effects to work on your computer is me talking about the various organizational baskets I'm going to buy. I had to sort out my pantry.
Let's be clear. I did absolutely nothing to make After Effects work. It just started. I was like, hey, it works.
You went through a lot of attempts.
Yeah, but still, yeah. Like, so do you have stuff off the top of your head that you feel like you accomplished, big or small?
They're all very small. Like, that's fine. I feel like in another year I would be like, hey, great job. But this year I'm like, cool, your pantry's organized. All these people are still dead. You didn't want to spend your life doing something that would not make people dead.
Melissa, you can only do so much. and while you're stuck at home, you had to occupy yourself with something, and you chose to de-socks and organize your pantry. And hey, that can make your life easier. It can make your life better. It can just make you feel less stressed just to clean something or reorganize it and be like, let's come up with a better system to do that. Right?
Yeah, that's what I've been focusing my time on. I make this bed every day. I used to only make it on Sunday when I would only make it when the camera would be pointed at it, but now it's every day.
Friday night, yeah.
I keep my apartment very clean. I'm obsessed with dishes. I've been deep in thought about organizing my closet. I clean all the surfaces. I vacuum regularly. I clean the floors. I'm buying fresh flowers every like week or two to put in the apartment. I'm putting That's a lot of thought into it because it's all I have.
How much of that is now a new habit? of like,
That's
this is
what I'm
something I
trying to
want
do.
to continue even when I'm not in quarantine or like 20 years down the road.
Right, that's what I'm trying to do, is to get all of these cleaning habits like stuck in my mind now, so that in the future when I'm busy, it'll still be ingrained in me to stop and make time for the dishes.
Right, yeah.
This may make me late to several social events, but the dishes will be done. It is law.
That is a good thing. That is a good thing. Excuse me. Yeah, I've tried to get a little bit better at that stuff too, especially since now I'm the only one in my household that is still working from home.
Mm.
I'm here all day, and if I'm not like working on stuff for the podcast or playing video games, I'm also trying to sprinkle in like I should be more proactive with just doing all of the dishes, even if they're not mine, or like taking the garbage and the recycling out and stuff like that. So I've been trying to get better at that stuff. I don't know if it's a habit yet, but that is something that I've been working on.
Yeah. I just clean. I watch a lot of movies. I have several weekly, like, ongoing movie engagements, which is helpful. I've got some way to shape out my time.
This has been a slow year for movies for me so
far.
I think I've watched like 4.
Oh, you mean
5.
just like you and your own personal life, not like in the entertainment industry. I'm like, yeah, Kyle, it's a slow year for movies.
Yeah, man, I wonder why. Like they just kept getting delayed. I'd show up to the theater and they'd be closed. I don't know. I don't know.
Banging on the window.
Yeah.
Where's Black Widow? I know she's in there.
Just longingly, just like,
let her out.
Are they in there? I think
is
that popcorn? I think I see popcorn.
That is me when I think I've talked about the times when I will drive to my favorite theater just to park in the parking lot and look at the outside of the building.
That. So funny. So good. But yeah, I think for me, most of it has been so far just I've been trying to watch through The Sopranos, and recently I finished watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They had their final season on, and I just finished that up this week. But I don't really count that as something I accomplished.
Only if it's MCU canon does it count as an accomplishment.
I mean, they this final season had some references to Project Insight and Bruce Banner and stuff like that. Yeah, they're off in their own thing. It seems like. But to me, the things that I feel like I accomplished this year was building my first PC.
Yeah.
That was an experience. I really enjoyed it. It's one of those things that's like, I wish I could do that more often.
I wish I had 3 PCs.
I can't. Right. Like, I can't just buy a new one and decide to make it. And, I mean, I could technically build myself a streaming PC and like a gaming rig and stuff like that. But I just have one and it seems to do just fine doing all of that stuff. And I just bought myself a capture card recently, so I can do all of this stuff. Like, it's totally fine. But yeah, it's expensive, or like I since I'm not an expert, I don't have people being like, Kyle, can you build me a PC? And I'll just be like, well, I don't really know what I'm doing, but sure.
Right. This is me with elaborate birthday cakes. Like, I wish I could do it myself more often, but like, there's only so much cake you can eat. I don't feel like I know enough to like sell a cake to anybody. I just hope that at some point somebody may ask me.
There you go. One day you'll make that. happen. But yeah, and then because I got the new PC, I was able to basically like revamp all of the whatnot stuff here on Twitch and stuff, which you guys can be watching us live right now. Which, by the way, I just
Oh no. He's slipping.
fixed that. There we go. We fixed it. The logo wasn't it wasn't centered, and I tried to fix it and didn't realize I wasn't in studio mode. But hi, we're here. We're back. Don't panic, Sam. We're good. We're alive.
Hi. We're 40 minutes in. Hello.
Yes. Oh, hi.
We didn't see you come in.
Oh, hey. Hello.
This is how I should start my training videos to the new person.
Right. Just be sitting there like, oh, hi.
I'm wearing a smoking jacket.
Oh, hello. Sitting there by the mantle in your robe and a pipe, right? It's like, oh, welcome to my humble abode. But yeah, but like I really feel like I accomplished something with making this PC and like revamping all of this stuff for our shows. It feels good. Like it feels like I put work into it and made something really cool.
Nice.
So, yeah.
It's good to make a thing that's permanent. I just make audio waves and food that gets eaten. So everything I make is very intangible.
Makes waves.
I make waves.
Melissa's making waves. Yeah.
I make dough. In some metaphorical sense, in terms of money, I guess I'm doing okay. Mostly I make pizza dough.
There you go. Is that what you're making now? You said you had some.
I'm making a focaccia. Bread. It's similar.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I if I was a bread connoisseur, I might have something interesting to say there, but I'm just like, cool, bread. I like bread.
I thought you were going to say, if I was a bread, and then you'd name what kind of bread you are. What kind of bread are you?
Kind of bread. If I was a bread, what kind of bread would I be?
Right.
I don't know. I feel like I'd just be like a boring white bread. Like I would
Wonder
be.
Bread?
Yeah, I would be the like Wonder Bread. They're like dirt cheap, extra sugar. Like it's probably not good for you, but it's still bread, right?
Extra sugar still legally considered bread.
Yeah. Looks enough like bread to fool most people.
I like
Can
that.
Be sold in stores in the bread aisle.
I think I'd be one of those brioche loaves that's like super puffy. Just looks like a very shiny cloud.
There you go. That's a good one. When I was going to ask, like, when you go to Subway, what is your bread of choice? I don't know how often you go to Subway.
It's been a long time.
I think I'd get the year.
There was like a cheesy, or like an herb and cheese bread. I think I would get.
I got the Italian herb and cheese.
That guy.
That one's good. That one's good. I like that one a lot. Just adds a little bit more flavor without it being like too weird for me. You know what I mean?
The weirdest bread Subway has to offer.
Right? What if
it's blue
that's
raspberry.
What you did? Like, walked in and be like, I want the weirdest bread you guys have.
Excuse me, sir. What's your weirdest bread? I would ask this at every restaurant.
Yes, please.
Waiter, would you please bring me your weird bread sampler, please?
That'd be amazing. Melissa, if you ever own your own bakery and stuff like that, you better have a selection of weird breads.
You know what this feels like? This feels like a snack that Disney would try and sell you in Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars land, because they don't really know what to do with Star Wars food because there isn't a lot of food in the Star Wars movies.
Except
you got
for, like,
blue milk.
Yeah.
It's blue milk and portion, and that's it. I feel like they'd make portion and then they'd just make other weird breads that feel like they're from space.
Yeah.
You can buy them off of a little cart.
Yeah. I don't know, but I oddly feel like this year has been a decent one for me. Like I think I'm fortunate enough to do well in isolation and just like working from home and not really going outside or seeing the sun, as you guys can tell, because I'm so super pale.
If you don't go outside, the sun's going to forget your name. You're going to have to reintroduce yourself to the sun. Like, I'm Kyle, remember? The sun knows all of our names, Kyle. The sun knows your true name that you don't even know.
What? That's like some like magic shit, some like dark magic shit. Like, he knows your true name.
You know, in Cheers, where they're singing about going to a place where everybody knows your name, they're including the sun. You know, it's Norm.
I don't know about that, Melissa. I don't think they were including the sun when they said everyone knows your name. I don't know where you got this information, Melissa, but it's questionable.
Sun is a character in every sitcom, much like New York City. You know, the sun is the seventh friend.
It's the sixth Beatle.
Who's There's a blank space and then the sun. You got to leave space between the sun and the rest of the boys. They don't get they don't get burned.
Good stuff. But I'm also very thankful to my girlfriend who also feels like I have been very accomplished this year.
Aww.
And bought me a Whatnauts sign.
Look at it go!
That you guys can, I don't know, you guys can't really see it in the back because it's going to be blurry, but it's back there. It says the Whatnauts. It has our logo. My camera is not really prepared for this lighting situation. But yeah, that is it. Yeah, you can kind of see it there when it's turned off. But yeah, big like neon LED sign that she bought me and surprised me with this week, and I fucking love it.
It's so exciting. She's so generous to give like all of us a gift. Like, I know it's for you and it's in your room and it's like your logo, your designed, but like I'm 20% of that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I where I'm going to hang it right now is going to be on this wall, which won't be in the camera frame, unfortunately. But this is something that I will have for a while. So yeah, like down the road, if I ever move to a new house and get a bigger space that I can put all my stuff in, that can be up on the wall back there. Yeah. So I'm excited. It's so fucking cool. It's
very cool.
It is very big. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Is it taller than you are?
No, it's not taller than me, but it is. It's pretty impressive on how big it is. Yeah, community sign.
Yay,
Rachel. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's ginormous. Like it's not you guys can't really tell, but it's not flat up against the stuff. It's diagonal, and so it's like it's sticking out and it's like up against the wall on that side, and then back here it's like extended out into the doorway and stuff like that. It's huge. It's really big. I enjoy it a lot. So go. Good stuff. I'm excited
I'm very happy you
for
have
all of
it.
this
It's a
stuff.
delight to look upon. It's
It
fun
is.
to like
It
add
is.
new things to your background. Like I ordered myself a new bedspread because it's about time I replaced this blanket that I bought 5 years ago.
There you go.
So, yeah, gonna get me some nice Brooklinens. I'm moving up in the world.
Ah,
And they're gonna
okay.
get here in time for when I start training this new person. So my bedroom
Nice.
will look slightly more put together.
There you go. I've been interested in buying Brooklyn sheets. They're just a little too expensive for me right now. Um,
Yeah.
I could get them. I probably should. All right. So did I tell you how I think I'm allergic to some of the sheets that
I
I
don't
bought?
think so.
So I've never been allergic to anything in my life, at least that I
Mm.
know of, or not in a way that it really mattered. Uh,
Mm.
and I over the summer, I'm sure we talked about it here on the podcast, but I was like, yeah, I bought some new bed sheets because it's nice to just like buy new bed sheets or buy new towels and be in adult, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so I bought I have like a nice navy blue pair that I bought from Target. And I don't remember what brand they were, so I've never been able to like find them again, but I love them because they
Mm.
have like a secondary elastic band on the corners to like keep
Mm.
it from sliding and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it feels like it stays like where it's supposed to be. It's great. But I took a risk and I bought some on Amazon, and it was this nice red color, like this dark red. And I was like, "Ooh, I like these. These look really good."
Oxblood.
And they felt nice, yeah. And the week that I got them and I bought them was also the week that all of the Black Lives Matter protest first started. Like this was the week, and so I don't know if you remember back then, but I also couldn't sleep back then. Like I had at least like a 2 week long bout of insomnia of just like
Yeah.
I can't sleep. I'm so stressed, and I'm just like watching Twitter to see all of this stuff, and I started to develop dry skin, like on like underneath my eyes, like right on like
Yeah.
on either side of my nose, and then like specifically on my left eye, like underneath my eyebrow, like on my eyelid, basically.
Strange.
Yeah. And I was like, huh, that's strange. Like I usually don't get dry skin from that. And I was like, well, I'm fucking stressed. I haven't been sleeping, and like that makes sense. And I looked it up. I was like, can you get dry skin from like a lack of sleep and stuff like that? And they're like, yeah. I mean, if you're stressed out enough, yeah, stuff like that can happen. And then I finally got back to a good sleep schedule and was just like, this isn't going away. Like, this is strange. And so I started using lotion and stuff on my face, and that helped. But it still didn't go away, and I don't know why. And all the time I had these bed sheets there, and I've washed them a number of times. I've cycled them out and stuff like that with the other bed sheets that I got, and I finally like I have been using like a facial like wash and cleanser and all that stuff, and like a special facial lotion now because I got some for Christmas, and then I cycled out those red sheets. Almost immediately my dry skin went away, and I was just like, it's the sheets. Holy shit. Like, it is like I must be allergic to these sheets or something, because I like whenever I cycle them out, like it seems to kind of subside for a bit. And yeah, I've never been allergic to something in my life, but here I am.
Weird.
Allergic to bed sheets. It must be the red dye that
maybe
used. That's what I'm thinking. Because it also actually stained my wall. The dye was like where because it was like the full like bed like fitted sheet and the top sheet and then like pillow cases and stuff, and those are up against the wall, right? And so they're rubbing on the wall, and when I took them off to wash them, I was like, is that a shadow? No. These pillows like stained my wall. There's like this like giant red mark here. Oof. Strange.
You got to get yourself a magic eraser.
Sam says that Sean has similar issues with black shirts. He gets headaches. That's interesting.
Wow.
Can't wear black. That'd be
troubling.
That would suck if you're goth.
There's variants of goth. You could be a pastel goth. Sure. Yeah.
Sure. But like standard goth. I was trying to think of a different word than
goth original.
Standard. Yeah. 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 I don't know. Oh well. Melissa, you have something on here about donuts, and it's making me hungry.
Well, yes, that's what they were meant to do.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because hopefully if you eat them, they don't make you hungry.
They should not make you hungry forever. There would be a defect in the donuts. The bakery would be closed down. No, I have to get up real early tomorrow to run an errand. And I thought I'd hit Dunkin' Donuts on my way home and get a treat for me and my roommate.
Okay.
So I got to figure out what kind of donut I want. And I thought I'd ask you, what is the best donut? We've discussed many of food. I think we've talked about cereal like 4 times. But I don't know if we've really hit donuts.
Cereal's good. My favorite donut is the glazed devil's food cake. So it is the more
demonic.
Like cakey ones, yeah. And yeah, I like the chocolate and I like the glaze mix. It tastes really good to me. I don't know.
It is good.
It's just good.
We're not going to fight you on 2 chocolates.
Oh, sure.
The choice is clear. I'm a big fan of the blueberry donut. Sometimes I really want a cake donut. Sometimes I really want a yeast donut. I've yet to encounter a blueberry yeast donut. So yeah, I'd go for like the yeast donut with I go for like the Homer Simpson classic with the pink frosting and the sprinkles. There's one donut shop in my area that does raspberry frosting instead of the standard pink strawberry frosting.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm more a chocolate guy. So if I get like a regular like yeast donut, I want the glaze and the chocolate and the sprinkles and stuff. Or I mean, I guess I don't have to have sprinkles because they're
you can get the chocolate Long John,
but
that's a classic. I feel like that was my favorite when I was a kid. I always wanted the chocolate Long John.
Cream filled though?
Standardly, no. It is. It's just donut plank with an icing on top. Chocolate, vanilla, maple. You can get a maple Long John.
I don't like cream filled ones. I don't understand them. I don't know why people like them. What is wrong with you? They are horrible.
They're good, but I think they're good, but they're risky. Like that, you stand a high risk of that glopping out onto your shirt.
Yeah.
So I don't dare eat them. I'd eat them very
like,
carefully.
I don't like those, and I don't like gushers. They're the same thing to me.
Understandable.
I don't know
Right.
why. I just don't like
Gushers,
them.
cream filled.
Yeah, I don't like them popping like that. It seems weird to me and disgusting.
I understand.
I don't know. But I'm more chocolate. I don't like fruit stuff on the donuts or like mixed in there. Not a blueberry muffin fan or anything like that. The only like maybe fruity thing I could do would be like a lemon flavored, maybe more like an
that
angel
sounds
food
nice. Yeah.
cake. Yeah, some like citrus something.
The two donuts on your shoulders giving you advice.
Right? I wish. Eat me. No, eat me. But like, why don't I just eat both of you? No.
I was looking at the Dunkin' Donuts app earlier, and they have a surprise me button. So if you don't know what kind of donut you want, you can just request a donut, and they pick it out for you. Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that because there's so many things that I'd just be like, I don't want that. I don't want coconut. I don't want cream filled. I don't want this. I don't want that. But I've had some like Heath Bar donuts. I've had some like Fruit Loop donuts that they put like
I do
Fruit
love
Loops
a
on
fancy
top and
donut.
stuff like that. I've done I've done sea salt caramel. Those are really good. I've had like a maple bacon one. Those are delicious. There's so much stuff out there. Donuts are good. I should buy myself some donuts.
Right. I want to go in search of a fancier donut. Not to disparage Dunkin' Donuts, but I do want to go to one of those boutique places that puts like a pile of cereal on top.
Yeah, you have to have some local donut place that is.
I know we do.
Like
I just got to get there.
Yeah. We have Sugar Shack here in Richmond. They're good. They're good for sure.
Getting desserts out.
Donuts in forever. Speaking of desserts, I had a big bowl of ice cream right before the podcast. It was great.
What did you get?
Chocolate chip cookie dough. And then I also bought chocolate sauce and caramel sauce. So
2 sauces.
Living large here.
Definitely large.
Yeah, it was good. Though I guess we have our freezer maybe a little too cold, or it's just this particular brand of ice cream, but it is like frozen solid, and it is the worst trying to like scoop it out and stuff. Even if I'm like running the spoon in hot water to like soften it up and melt it right, it just doesn't work. And it takes forever, but at least it doesn't melt in the bowl while I'm taking long.
Yeah,
is a good thing. So, but it was still good.
Nice. I got an ice cream this week from my local Schnucks. Shout out to Schnucks. It's vanilla ice cream with chocolate and peanut butter swirls and chocolate covered peanuts and pretzels. It's a miracle that the pretzels are still like really crunchy. I don't know how they do that. I think they're chocolate covered and the chocolate like seals in the crunch. But the fact that they're still that crunchy after all this time, I don't know how scientists do it.
Who knows? That's actually also something I was thinking about, because this chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream that I got, their cookie dough is different from all the other cookie doughs that I've had. Like this, it might just be that it is frozen solid, and it feels more like I'm biting into this thing that is then crumbling. Like it feels like it crumbles when I bite into it. Whereas I feel like other cookie dough ice creams that I've had, there is a not chewy. That's not the right word, but it is still maybe a little more doughy. Like it does really feel like dough. And I don't know what the difference is. Do they put something on the ones that make it feel more like dough to keep it like that despite the temperature? Or is it the other way around where these guys fucked up and they put something on their dough and it's now this like crumbly mess?
Right, because you don't know what the control state is for cookie dough that goes in ice cream.
Who knows? Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, that'd be delicious. I was just thinking about making a homemade ice cream with like store-bought cookie dough and just putting that in there. Oh. Ooh.
This is one of the things that I feel like, man, if we were in the same geographic location, I feel like we would do so many food challenges. Like we're going to do this Kit Kat episode at some point where we both order the same like pack of international Kit Kats off Amazon. But for more difficult foods like ice cream, if we lived in the same place, like every other episode would be ice cream episode.
Yeah, which speaking of which, we should buy that this week. We talked about it like a month ago.
Yes.
But I will buy it this weekend and let you know when mine comes in.
I'm getting mine too. We're gonna live.
Yeah. As we should do that soon. And then don't forget, it's like sometime in June is our trivia night.
Oh, heck yeah.
Annual trivia night.
Right. I'm starved for trivia. That'll be good. It'll be good to re-up my skills.
Yes.
It was a year. I have not been to bar trivia in 1 year. That was the last thing I did was go to bar trivia. And the next day I was like, I'm gonna work from home. And I wouldn't have gone to bar trivia that night if it wasn't the retirement night for our trivia hostess. Like she was moving to North Dakota and this was her final night. And we're like, well, we have to go. Like we can't miss this. So it was kind of, it really it was truly the end of a chapter in multiple ways.
Yeah. There you go. That's good. Yeah, we'll have to get some more trivia stuff. We also need to do an episode of the Reactor Core where we are reacting to excuse me, I have the hiccups. Where we are reacting to movie trailers and stuff from like different genres and stuff like that. We talked about doing that a long time ago because we have stuff like that up on Patreon for our $3 supporters and above. We were reacting to trailers from different decades. And that was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to do more of that. Speaking of the Reactor Core, though, starting next week, we will be live on Twitch at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for the next around 2 months. I'm not sure how long the show is.
I think this one's shorter. It might be like 6 episodes.
Might be 6. Okay, so like a month and a half. Then we'll be live every Friday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern to do our reactions to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And that'll be fun. And once we're done with that, we will roll right into the Captain's Log like we normally do here on
big night.
Friday night. Yeah, so lots of fun here on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/the Whatnauts. Come join us. Do all of that stuff. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to do these like shorter reaction things, reaction shows, stuff like that.
Us and the mini. We talked about the trailer for Luca a couple of weeks ago, the upcoming Pixar film. Well, I tried to look up on YouTube Luca trailer. Like that was first, and then it was like 5 reaction videos, and then like the trailer uploaded by another network. And then 5
you got
more reaction
like
videos.
IGN trailer.
Right,
Yeah. That's just like that is the culture on YouTube.
It's wild because a reaction is like
reactions and unboxings. Yeah.
A reaction is the most basic thing that there is. There's no theories, there's no expertise. You're bringing nothing to the table but being alive.
That's a Yeah, but I think when you get someone who is so passionate about
Mm,
Pixar animation, or like, oh, the new Star Wars trailer, and you can just see how happy they are and how
yeah.
like overjoyed and stuff, like those moments are great.
Mm,
Like I think I was when I think the first trailer for that last Star Wars movie
yeah,
came
yeah.
out. There was a video going around of a guy who ended up crying, and then someone on Twitter was like, "You're like real men don't cry at Star Wars," or some stupid shit like that. And then everyone was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? This guy is amazing! Like, look how happy
Mhm.
he is, and look how fucking unhappy you are that you have to be like
Right.
real man don't cry." Rah, 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 rah. And yeah, it's like I love moments like that where you can just see like, wow. It's like when you can see someone is so enthusiastic or passionate about something, it's amazing.
Mm.
So reactions can be like that, or there's also the exact opposite of that. Like, yo, this shit is so bad. Have you seen this, man? What, did you see that line?
I'm not a fan of those. I've often thought about how I may be able to combat negativity in YouTube. I don't know how.
Melissa, you try amazingly
I
hard to bring positivity and help, and it is amazing to
I
everyone around you. It is great. So you just keep being you.
I'll try being very stressed out anytime I see a YouTube thumbnail where they put an X over anything. An X is too violent for me.
Note to self: put an X on the
No.
YouTube thumbnail of this
The
thing.
most negative
Here's
thing
what
I'll
not to do on YouTube, according
No!
to Melissa.
I think we should have green check mark and then just like plain face. Like just colon vertical bar. Right.
Just straight face.
Just meh. Yes. I think this is
Big
as
old
low
check
as we
mark
ought to
there.
go.
Just meh.
Or just like mild frown. Like, you know, the Marge Simpson noise. Like that.
That's funny. Good stuff. So, Melissa, I was surprised. Speaking of reacting to things, I did not react to this on a video, but I was definitely surprised at hearing this news. Apparently, they just announced season 2 of The Devil is a Part-Timer this past week, which we've covered season 1 on the review show some time ago. It was a while ago. I could have sworn there was already a season 2 out.
Yeah, I don't know how old that show was when we did cover it. Yeah.
But I completely forgot that there wasn't a season 2 out. Yeah, and I saw that they finally announced season 2 of The Devil is a Part-Timer, which is an anime about this devil, I guess, this demon that goes to he goes to Earth and is trying to live a normal life and has to get a part-time job at their version of McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
It's charming. Do you think it's funny that we have a show called The Devil is a Part-Timer and then there's that movie The Devil All the Time? Like they could have called it The Devil is an All the Timer.
Have not thought about that, no. But now that you mention it.
Where is the the show originally aired in 2013. So way to go, way to persevere. I hope for the same return for many shows.
Right?
Way to inspire us.
I want the story behind that of like what took so long. Like was it like
what was happening in your life?
Hell Did something happen at the studio? Was there like some legal battle with like IP rights and stuff like that? And that's why you couldn't do it? I don't know. But you said since 2013?
It was the year I graduated college.
Wild. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Melissa, that's all I got for this week.
We have it. Okay.
That's all I got for this week. So I say we wrap things up.
It's a nice way to end. Let's end on that hopeful note that a show can be renewed for a second season 8 years after the previous season aired.
Right? I mean, they've kind of done stuff like that with like Young Justice and Star Wars Clone Wars and stuff like that. But 8 years, man, that's kind of well, I mean, I don't really count stuff like Full House and Fuller House.
Yeah.
Even though it maybe technically is, but I don't know. Yeah. There you go. Let's wrap things up. Melissa, do a little bit of housekeeping for everyone out there. If you did not know, we have multiple podcasts here at the Whatnauts.
Like the sign says, folks.
Yeah, like the sign says. If you guys did not know, we have multiple shows. You guys can find out more information at our website, thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. Just type in the Whatnauts and all of our shows will pop up right there. If you like what we do, patreon.com/thewhatnauts is where you can support us for as little as $1 a month. We do have a $3 tier with all kinds of exclusive content. We need to record our next thing real soon here. I might see if we can do that this next week or so. See if we can hang out and record something. We have a $5 tier, which will get you a shout out on the show. So thank you, Sam, who has been chilling here in the chat. We appreciate it. We love you so much. Thank you for supporting us. It means a lot. You guys can also subscribe to us on Twitch if you want to support us. It's about $4.99 for a tier 1 subscription. And if you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. You just need to link your accounts. It's super simple. And when you do, you get a free subscription to give away to the streamer of your choice. And we'd love that to be us because it costs you nothing and it's free money for us. Then that means we can make bigger and better content down the road. The more support we get. Don't forget our store, thewhatnauts.com/store. You guys can join our Discord at thewhatnauts.com/Discord. Come hang out with us. Come talk with us. We'd love to get our Discord popping, as they used to say back in the day. Let's get it popping, Right? Cool. Let's see, other housekeeping. I think that is kind of it for now.
Kind of.
Keep in mind, we will be here next week, like I mentioned, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Yes, look for us. We will be here live, twitch.tv/thewhatnauts, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, for our reactions to Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 1. And we will roll right into the Captain Log next week.
Are they doing both episodes 1 and 2 on the same day, like they did with WandaVision? And I think they've done with Mando.
Know. I hope they are.
Yeah.
I hope they are.
We'll see.
I'm not actually certain. We will see. But with that, Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT. I think it's also my Pinterest, as previously mentioned. Come see me on Pinterest, the #1 social media site where I spend my time. And listen to my other podcast, Saturday Morning Obscurities. This is a show where me and my brother Jams talk about weird old kids shows you feel like only you remember. I think our last episode was Cubics, Robots for Everyone.
Okay, I remember the name of that one, but I never
It's
saw
a
it.
very
Never
memorable
watched it.
name. Yeah.
Cubics. If you guys want to find me and stay up to date with me, I'm at Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter. If you guys want to stay up to date with all the stuff we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at the Whatnauts on Twitter. So go follow us there. Go like, share, subscribe, do all the things. You guys know the deal. But with that, this has been number 134 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. We will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.